The Samson and Delila issue, the process was not sweet, but the end of the process was to glorify the assignment God gave to Samson, revenge. Anytime you hear people talk about Samson and Delila, it's an experience, it's a phenomenon that happens in every life, maybe here or there or somewhere else. Now, what I'm talking about here in this matter is about the Racine and Ruth factor. After and before marriage or before their wedding, the impact of change. And I don't want us to assume that we know what's happening in depth wherever they are, but by the factor that they display according to their relationship with scorn, we can really bring it equivalent to the phenomenon of Samson and Delila. What do I mean by this? The phenomenon of Samson and Delila was the factor within the aspect of after getting married, then the grace does not look the same. Not on the higher level, but it does not look the same just because it dropped its manifestation, or if it was some other institution, you talk about the manifesto. I don't want to talk about that. And the thing that I want to really try to stress on is only that God can make life very, very great in every aspect. But then, if we know Delila also was to be used by God. Start reading when the story of Samson and Delila comes in. God starts speaking by pointing out that he wanted a revenge of Israelites against the Palestinians. So God brought Samson as someone who would really deal with this issue very correctly. He empowered, God himself empowered Samson to work as a tool in this area. I want to get you a little picture different from what we've been talking about. The same God brought not Ruth. The same God brought Delilah from the Palestinians. So God would be quickening the spirit of Samson to go up in Palestine cities and then find a woman, and he made sure he found Delilah. And Delilah also, in other aspect, there was a way she was to provoke something for revenge to come up. What I didn't know, if he was to bring the grace of God upon Samson to a completion or to a demise. I didn't know if that was a major part, because the Bible does not really speak about it. But the Bible explains, in the end of the whole story of Samson and Delilah, there was glory of God's purpose for revenge. I said in the beginning that I want to come with you people from a different perspective. The Samson and Delilah issue, the process was not sweet, but the end of the process was to glorify the assignment God gave to Samson, revenge. Revenge. Now, this is a prophetic kind of encounter I've developed within these 3 days. I've been in prayer. Even midnight, I wake up and I get into prayer. So I got this revelation. One thing you may discover, and I want to give you this in a very, very precise form, that Samson and Delilah kidnapped Samson, kind of a situation of a kidnap kind of situation. And then the people of Israel were frustrated for some time. But then within the frustration of the people of Israel, God used Samson from Israel to rise up to Palestine, break the gates, fight. You remember there was a time when God would come in upon with the Spirit of God on Samson, in Samson and on Samson. And then he would kill many, thousands, with the jawbone of an ass, jawbone. Now, there is a problem that these people don't know. And all of us have been seeing this thing from a different angle. I've had people who have seen visions of so many things within the aspects of Prophet Racine and Ruth. The clouds, the tearing, the collapsing of some issues or something. I don't want to be specific from that area, but I want to cap up in this. So I prayed for this, and God spoke to me in a different way. And he said, do you remember Samson and Delila issue? How did it end? I remember when Samson came out, they mocked him when he was blind. And he asked a small boy, take me to the pillar. And then the pillar, he pushed it. All the people that were laughing, smiling, mocking, they collapsed inside the same building. Now, what I'm going to, I'm going here. The place that they kidnapped this young man, he got to a place where they would say, and that is the Tonge family and the general wide ascope. The general wide ascope of those who are trying to bring down scorn. With this factor that we want to bring Racine into this, hijack him, put him in custody, kind of hostage. And then one thing, there is a time when God will bring his hair back. And those people who plotted all these things, they have to be very ready. The consequences will not be very interesting. The consequences. So Samson blew up the whole building, collapsed it, and all the people who were part of the conspiracy, they were brought down by one push of a pillar from Samson. And what I'm trying to speak, I will not finish there. I'm talking in parable. So you go and fill in the gap that is left. I know what I'm saying, I can expand, but I want to leave it there so you can go and fill in the gap. Go to the comment section and talk to us. And God bless you. If you are new in this channel, consider subscribing before you leave. Timothy Profitable. See you in the next episode.